Hello friends, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this chest pack that I have. This is the chest pack that lives out at our lake house out west in the Intermountain West. And I've been fine-tuning that out here for many years. I keep a different chest pack back east, and they have slightly different contents and for slightly different uses and slightly different environments. And so this is the one that's focused on the west. And I don't always carry everything that you're going to see here in this bag. And sometimes I carry more and different things, but I really just carry whatever I need for the outing that I'm going on. And of course, all the emergency stuff stays in there. But I just wanted to share with you what works for me, and hope it'll give you some ideas for your own either hiking or outing pack. Whether you use a chest pack or not, there's some ideas in here that might be of use to you. All right, let's start with the outside. Well, let's start with the pack itself. This is a Hill People gear. This is the SAR kit bag. I think it was designed in coordination with some search and rescue folks, but you notice the difference between the standard Hill People gear kit bag is that this Velcro strap here that's sewn on, you can put things on it that you would want to put on there. There's also this webbing here, this MOLLE webbing, 3 tiers of that, 2 positions each. And you know, you can, like I have a radio here that you can hang from that. I've also got a little light here. Anyway, I'll go into that, but this kit bag is really amazing. Actually, it's really good use of space, has a lot of storage, maybe too much, because then I'm tempted to bring way too much with me all the time, and I have to always scale it back. But it's got 3 main pockets. This front pocket that's shallower and shorter for kind of quick access things. A big main pocket, which we'll get into in a minute, that has the bulk of the stuff, and then a flat stuff pocket in the back. I just call it a flat stuff pocket. I think it's also designed for concealed carry if you need that in the backcountry, but I just keep a lot of flat stuff in there that we'll see. It has, you know, it has its harness to go over your shoulders and around your sides, and has a breathable mesh backing here. Really comfortable, surprisingly comfortable. One of the neat features I love about this thing is these D-rings here. They open up, and you can attach them to, you know, those ladder straps on your backpack where you attach your sternum strap. These just go through one of those loops and attach, and it actually ends up balancing the load between the front and the back of your pack. So what I end up doing is carrying a day pack, really just like a REI Flash 18 or something like that, where it has a bladder in there for water and for carrying bigger thing, you know, jacket or something with me. And then I attach this to the straps in the front, and it really just seems to lighten the load. So it's kind of a neat feature that the Hill People gear chest packs have that some of the others don't. In fact, my one back east doesn't have that, and I actually miss it on a regular basis, so I may end up getting another one of these for out there. But I do love that other bag, which I'll talk about in that other video. Anyway, I created this handle. I needed a way to carry it around, and one thing they didn't create was a way to carry it around. I mean, you can grab the shoulder straps, but they're so long and everything's so, you know, off to the side, that I wanted a central strap. So I just passed some paracord through these lifter straps here, and just tied myself some extra paracord on the end. And this is just a straw from, I don't know, I think it's a Hydro Flask. You know, those long straws that go down to the bottom on the flip top ones. And I just bought some extra ones on Amazon and cut it down. And it makes a really good carrying handle. Easy to get to and from the car or whatever. Okay, more features of this. It opens on one side, so you unbuckle there, flip it over your head, wrap this around up under your arm, and connect it again. and you're good to go. It's actually, like I said, surprisingly comfortable. Okay, other features of this thing. Let's look at the bottom first, and we'll kind of start with the contents by looking at the most important thing. It's really kind of neat because it's got these webbing straps down here, loops across the bottom, and it just so happens to perfectly fit my Mora Garberg. I put it through 3 of them, and then I pass this strap on the back through one of them on the back, so that at all times I have a really secure grab on my knife, and yet it's very easy to access anytime I want. So you just get used to putting it back on the bottom of the bag, and I keep the blade outward, you know, away from my body, and it works great. Okay, moving on. I carry a pair of gloves, just hang them from the front here on a carabiner from one of these molly straps. I find that they just hang below the bag and I don't really see them at all, yet they're handy whenever I want, and yet I'm not taking valuable space inside the bag for gloves, which is great, especially because I end up getting them dirty and don't want them in the bag. Okay, next, the Rocky Talkie, really good radio. This is the FRS basic sort of consumer one, and then I have the GMRS version back east, which I'll show you probably in that other video. Anyway, just for communication when cell service is not happening, which I find myself in that situation on a regular basis. So with my brother or whoever I'm hiking with, we can talk. Okay, next, I just got this, actually. Runners carry these. It's just a magnetic little pincher thing. Anyway, what's great about this is it's a light, and if you push it one more time, it flashes. And if I ever put this pack down, I turn that on. So no matter what, at night, I can just walk right back to it. I try not to do that, but at least it's an emergency. And also it's a way that I can be seen if I need to be. If I'm in a tight spot and need to get myself back, I want to be visible. So having that just there, and it weighs nothing and it lasts for a long time, it's great. Okay, next. Oh, let's go over here. So this is on the side strap that goes just under my left armpit, and it's a drop bag. It's a 511 drop bag. So it's super compact when it's hanging there, and I hardly know it's there. And then if I need to collect tinder or need to collect anything, and obviously don't want to stuff it in my bag, I can just pull this out, and it's a good sized bag that just hangs there up under, you know, just to the left of the pack, kind of on the front side of my body. And super handy, it just hangs there. If you want, you can attach this. There's a little, you can see this little hook. You can attach this, keep it closed if you needed to, but really I usually just leave it hanging open. And you can collect tinder, kindling, or anything else you want to collect and bring with you. Or it's sometimes I actually use it for kind of a drink holder. If I'm using bottled water instead of a bladder in a pack, I'll just open this up and drop my bottled water in there, and it works pretty great attached to me. Okay, anything else? Oh yeah, I guess I should just say that down here there's a couple loops down here. I keep a carabiner on this one because inside here I have plastic bags, a couple plastic bags, and I mean, if I see trash out in nature, and I just hate to see it, so I'd rather pick it up. Anyway, so I'll hang a plastic bag from this, and so that of course hangs down below. Next to my gloves, it hangs down below the kit bag, my chest pack, and I just don't see it. and I just add trash as I need to. Sometimes I use the drop bag for that too, but I try to keep that for other things, especially if the trash is wet. Anyway, next. Okay, let's probably dive in. I don't think there's anything more on the outside. And I'm going to turn it the way that you would see it if you're wearing it. So it's a little bit more, it's kind of awkward reaching in the way I don't usually reach in, which is straight down like this. All right, let's start in this front. Okay, what I keep in here super handy, of course, is fire, signaling, a little light, a headlamp, and I'll show you. Just keep a ferro rod right there, a little red light, keep my night vision, and just the slim little emergency whistle. That's dummy corded to this interior loop here that is part of the bag. And it's my Nitecore. Wish I could remember which model this is. I always forget about it. Anyway, it'll be down in the description. But it's my favorite headlamp. I've got one everywhere. I've got 5 or 6 of these in different kits. You've seen it in my contingency kit, and it's in my Eastern chest bag, and it's in my car, and it's in my... Anyway. Okay, and then over here I've got some toilet paper, a little specimen box if I need to. I mean, I can think of 100 things why you'd want to collect one of these, who knows. Notebook, waterproof, right in the rain. Oh, and that toilet paper, well, I'll talk about that in a sec. And then next to the notebook is a Sharpie and a mechanical pencil. I won't pull them out because they're way deep in there. Okay, and then on this side, behind the fire making, was a Cliff Bar for emergencies. Let me bring this a little forward. Cliff Bar for emergencies. I think this one's probably about to be expired, so I should change it out. And a couple dude wipes, and that goes with the toilet paper. So, you know, if you're ever in the woods, it helps to have a dry something and a wet something. So I won't go into any more detail than that. So to clean up after situations. And so that's what I keep right there handy in the front. And then let's move on to the middle. Okay, so let's start at the front. I've got, I've got just a beaner in here in case I need a beaner, and I've got some of these little S beaners, locking S beaners hanging from it in case I need those. And you know I love these. You see them in all my kits. Then behind that, you know I love these pot holders. Just a piece of leather. In this one, I've woven some bank line through it, just one strand of the 3 strands of bank line, so that I can grab it and I can turn it into, tie it off and have a little holder in case I need to, in case I find some really catchy tinder and I want to collect it and keep it dry. I've got a little container. I mean, you could use it for anything. Collect some berries, collect anything you want, but it's also a pot holder, and it's also a gripper, and it's also just anything to protect your hands if you need to grab something. I have those in my other kits too, as you have probably seen. Okay, on this side I have, and this is the handy stuff for first aid, I have gauze pads, large gauze pads back there. I have the sort of Band-Aids and boo-boo kit. Leuco tape, which is, in my opinion, the best thing for blisters. Well, really, for hot spots. I always catch a hot spot early, because if you don't catch it early, you're in trouble. So, and I slap some Leuco tape on it, and it just becomes part of my skin. The adhesive's so good, and the fabric's so nice against the rubbing thing that it really makes all the difference. Got some nitrile gloves handy right here that I can pull out. And then behind that, I have 2 packages of wound packing dressing, North American Rescue wound packing dressing. The 2 main things that I'm worried about is puncture wounds, you know, and heavy bleeding on an extremity. And so I've got wound packing. I'd pack with both of those first, deep into a wound, follow it with cloth if I need to, like a bandana or something. And then also if there's an extremity, I've got a tourniquet, cat tourniquet. There's also a North American Rescue, and I've set it up in the zigzag so it's really quick to deploy, all set. And it's just Velcroed to the back. This is a not Velcro, you know, hook and loop backing here, and this is hook and loop, and so it just sticks right to it. You don't even need to mount it in any way. It's just on there, you know, and I can just grab it, tear it off. I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, so that's all that. Yeah, more first aid in there, maybe just some smaller things. Okay, then I have a water bottle, 2 liter, that I keep handy down there. And behind it, some utensils that are just kind of a Velcro loop against this backing again that just keeps it in place. You know, I like those utensils. Yuko. Okay, next we have this little Velcro, you know, I mean, hook and loop attaches to the back. You can pull it out if you needed to, but you can, you know, configure it any way you want. If you want to make that deep and put other stuff on the top, or if you want to move it over here. That's what I like about having a hook and loop backing in these pockets. Both this and the flat pocket in the back have that hook and loop backing. They're also MOLLE, if you see they're laser cut, so you can weave if you needed to, if that's what you got. Okay, so let's get into what's in this. First, got trusty Swiss Army knife here. And that's my backup because I always have Ranger on me in my pocket. Always, always. So that's my backup in case something happens or I break it or I lose it or whatever. Okay, next we have lighter wrapped in. That's actually gaffer tape. So it burns, and it's also repairs and whatnot, but then a lighter. And there's my plastic bags for trash and whatnot, but I can also carry, you know, if I need to, if I'm foraging or if I need to carry anything that, or even water or whatever, 2 plastic bags. This is my Sunto little clip compass. As a backup, I have my main compass is actually on me at all times when I'm outdoors. And this is my backup. Okay. Then I have, then I have a sharpener, kind of a neat one that I got in just the last couple of years here. You could do 20 degree and 25 degree, coarse and fine, ceramic and a carbide or whatever. So it's kind of nice to have that variety. I can do couple different knives with that. Couple different knives that I own. Okay, here's my backup for this kit. My backup glasses, reading glasses. If I lose my reading glasses, I'm in some hurt, and so I always keep a backup in these kits. Okay, I think that's it across the front. Oh no, yeah. Okay, inside. Inside I keep some red whips, some just some loops of mini paracord here, the little 100 pound or 150 pound or whatever. I have just one little length, maybe 3 or 4 feet of regular 550 there, just in case I need little attachments or whatever to my kits, or this pack, or my backpack, or my body, or my belt. Anyway, I keep a loop, look closely at things. It's just something I like. I found a lightweight plastic one. I think it might have been at Harbor Freight or somewhere. And it's got 2 different magnifications, which is kind of nice. You can look at in one or the other, or stack them and have a high magnification. It's nice. Then I just cut out kind of a heavy duty piece of plastic and made my own spool of bank line. This is, I think, 20 feet or 25 feet of bank line. And of course I can separate that into 3 threads and have, 75 feet or whatever it is. Very useful, compact cord. And then in the middle, I got Bob. And inside this is zip ties. I might have to, here, I'll put this aside and dig in it in a minute. Let's keep going. Behind that, I have gaffer tape and I have medical clear tape for attaching the gauzes or whatever I need to do for the first aid stuff, but I keep the tapes together there. You know me and tape, if you've seen my other videos. Okay, okay, so let's stop right there. Wait, is that everything? Yeah. Okay, and then we go in the back here. Sorry, it's best to show you bringing these to the center because that's the easiest. Okay, the back is all my flat stuff, like I was saying before. Let's start with these. Keep some straws in there just in case I need to drink out of an uncomfortable river or who knows what. Everything from a couple first aid uses that are extreme, but if you don't have anything else, you don't have anything else. Then I always keep a bandana. Now, if you've seen my other videos, I always have 2 on me, and usually there's 1 or 2 in every bag. In this kit bag, there's only just this one, but it's an extra for an emergency. I have some Tyvek in here, just a Tyvek envelope for a waterproof sort of barrier I can lay down if I need to stand on something wet to change my socks or whatever. Back here I keep some larger gauze pads that go with that first aid stuff that's in that main pocket, but these are the larger ones that don't fit in there in case I need them. Of course, I keep my own Tight Spot real-time guide for wilderness survival. I highly recommend it. Fantastic. That's a shameless self-plug there. And then I keep these super durable Post-its that I've talked about in some of my other kits in case I need to leave a note somewhere. These really stick. It's kind of like masking tape, but almost, even more heavy duty. And this adhesive is amazing. So write a note with the Sharpie, stick it to anything, a tree, anything. So it could be signaling, it could be path marking, it could be anything, leave a note at a cabin, whatever. Okay. Then I have trail markers. So these are just reflective strips. I just have them in plastic here, but reflective strips, and they're sticky. And so you pull one off. You could really cut this in half and have twice as many. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So if you cut this in half, you could have 16 markers. And what you do is you just pinch it around a twig or something hanging down from a tree, or pinch it around something, a bush or something, and it's a reflective red marker if you need to lay a trail as you're trying to find your way back to the trail if you get misplaced or whatever. And so that's my path markers, my main path markers for this kit. Okay. There's natural ways you can do it. You can stack stones, you can break a stick, you can put an arrow on the ground, you can scratch something into the ground, you can break a branch in a direction, whatever. But I do like, for a tiny amount of weight and almost no space, I like to have those in there. Okay, then I keep a variety of Ziplocs. These smaller sizes, medium size, and then these larger. They're larger than 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 11 fits in here, so think they're like 9 by 12 or something. I like those. Those can be water bags. Those could be protecting a map. They could be any number of uses. Here's 2 oven bags that I keep in here actually just in case I need water barrier for my feet. So I'll just stick these directly on my feet, pull my socks on, pull my shoes on, and then I've got some waterproofing if it's critical, and also some heat generation if heat is a problem. Okay, so this is the main, I mean if cold is a problem. This is the main, oh, there's this Velcro strip down the back of this. This is not a hook and loop platform, but this is loop here. And this is where you would carry concealed, you know, you'd have a holster that had some hook on it, and you could stick it to this and then be able to pull if you needed to. But I rarely carry a firearm. Anyway, so that is the back pocket, and really the majority of what I want to talk about. Now let me just jump into this little Bob Ross tin real quick, and this just got the small stuff. Got the small stuff, and it is zip ties, it's silicone bands, got some safety pins and chem lights, glue stick. So with the lighter, I've now got glue for repairs and whatnot. Got emergency potable aqua tabs. Got some of this micro cord. Not a huge, I don't think it's Kevlar or Dyneema or anything, but it's you know, fairly strong and good for small repairs. I got another plastic bag that could come in handy. I've got a signaling mirror, that dog tag shaped signaling mirror. I've got a Fresnel lens for fire starting, magnification, whatever. And then I've got sail needles. And I can put that through them. They're large eye. Or I can break down that and put that through them and into thread. Or I can break down bank line, and those individual cords will fit through those eyes. They're large eye. And so, clothing or kit or whatever repair needs to be done. So that's what's in the Bob Ross tin that goes inside here. So that is the contents of my kit. I'm trying to think if there's anything else while I've got you here, but I think that's it. So hopefully this gives you some good ideas for your own, you know, pack, day pack, sling, fanny pack, chest pack, whatever you use. And hope to see you in the next one. Thanks.